Okay, welcome back to my playthrough of Bloodborne. So this was sort of a lore edition, I guess, playthrough where I was going through and discussing all the lore and blah 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 to get ready for the video. Cthulhu Mythos in Bloodborne. And then, I mean, we did 4 of those, and that was good. But time sort of caught up to me, and so I'm finishing the video in a few days. And so, you know, it's gonna be a very lengthy video, and I really didn't want to just use like still images and artwork for the 30 minutes or whatever the hell it's gonna be. I want to use actual video game footage from the video game. And I definitely don't want to steal anybody's footage, because that's just ridiculous. When I can, you know, I can't create artwork, but I can get footage of Bloodborne. And so now I've just been playing through to just for the purpose of getting footage. Problem is, I need to like beat the entire game and the DLC in the next couple days, and since no HUD looks better than with HUD, I have to beat it all with no HUD, so it's a no HUD challenge run as well, which has been pretty tricky. I've done alright. Basically, I just heal after every time I get hit, and I've been doing alright. I haven't really died any more than I normally would. But I've sort of been compensating by going for, like, over-leveling, and I went for the Ludwig's Holy Blade or whatever here, and just as stacked as I can get. And so as you can see, I've killed Murgo's Wet Nurse, so we're pretty far in the game. I just have Gehrman and the Moon Presence to kill for the final bosses. But I also have to do the Upper Cathedral Ward, which is what we're going to be doing today. And I also have the whole DLC to do, which I'm not really looking forward to. The DLC is good. I mean, it's very good content, but it's also very difficult. And so with no HUD, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But first, the Upper Cathedral Ward. So yeah, I was, you know, I liked discussing all the lore and breaking it down and getting invested in it and things like that. That was interesting. But I realized most of it was sort of just it was an unnecessary discussion for my purposes, because really I'm not trying to delve that deep into the actual lore of the game. I'm just trying to make the connections to the Cthulhu Mythos. The only thing, I guess, I'd really like to... Well, there's a lot of things I'd like to just know. But one thing that really just bugs me is the entire concepts and the interaction between the levels of the dream, and what is a dream and what is a nightmare. You know, what is the connections between the dreams and Yharnam, and what does it mean to wake up at the end? You know, if you let Gehrman kill you at the end, you wake up, and you get the cinematic of you waking up to the rising sun. Meaning that, you know, if if you never let Gehrman kill you. You know, you could just run around. I could run around and keep respawning and just grinding things for years with the same save file. I could just run around and kill things over and over and over for a decade. And morning would never come until I wake up because Gehrman kills me. Which is kind of like, well, yeah, waking up means that you beat the game. So in both a thematic story sense and also, well, you know, you beat the game. I mean, it's like, you know, throughout the game you have this progression of time. You can have the, you know, the moon phases change and events happen with the passing of time. But the passage of time only occurs... Yeah, I gotta do all these slow walking, panning camera movements for a video. I'm like Vadi now, pretty much. I am Vadi. I am Vadi. You know, the time will never, ever pass until you kill Vicar Amelia. And then, suddenly, there's just a time passage. And that's because, you know, well, it's a video game. That's how they wanted to have it happen. But maybe, you know, there is like a story reason for that. That somebody is engineering this dream that we're in right now. Possibly, you know, the moon presence or Odin or whatever. And they're following our progress and be like, oh, okay, now they've done this, we're gonna crank it up a little bit. I don't know. I mean, there's no proof to that, and that's why I don't think I'm ever gonna get the answers that I want as regards to the dreams. Really, anything. You're not gonna get any answers, which is sort of a plus, because then I can spout almost any shit I want. And it's like, well, you don't know. This could be true. You don't know. See, you'll notice they're all looking over in the same direction. Over there, which is where you find Abritas. Like right in there. And you'll notice they kind of resemble Abritas a little bit. They have these sort of vestigial wings. And that was one thing that kind of confused me. It's like, you know, you have... Ariana and fake Yosefka. That become pregnant with great ones. And Ariana gives birth to one, and fake Yosefka is like in pregnancy throes or whatever. And you can kill him, or you can kill, you know, the infant or whatever. And you get the third of umbilical cord. And there, you know, when Ariana gives birth... Oh, fuck, they do frenzy. I forgot about that. I can't see my frenzy meter. When you know, when Ariana gives birth, it sort of resembles these things. And so it's like, okay, so these are all, like... little infant great ones. But they're not. Right? Because they don't give you the umbilical cords. So they're not quite the same. For whatever reason. And I know there's something about... I think it's the choir or something like that, that's about, like... using the blood to modify humans, to actually make humans into great ones. And so, like, are these, like, the experiments? I think there was an implication somewhere that these were all children or something at some point. I don't know. But for whatever reason, they do not give umbilical cords when the others do. Yeah, let me read this, actually, because I'm curious about the choir. High-ranking members of the Healing Church. Members of the choir, both the highest-ranking clerics of the Healing Church and scholars who continue work began at Byrgenwerth. Together with the left-behind Great One, they look to the skies in search of astral signs that may lead them to the rediscovery of true greatness. Who's making noises? Who's making noises out here? Okay, and the church. Yeah, okay. See, medicine is not a means of treatment, but rather a method for research. Because, after all, blood administration is, whatever the hell that thing said. Something communion. Yeah, there you go. Blood administration is, of course, the pursuit of communion. You know, what easier way to be able to communicate with the Great Ones, which is their goal, than actually having, you know, your own Great Ones. Having, you know, your people, some of your people becoming Great Ones. Which is sort of what they've been setting out to do. And we know of one person. Don't close the door. We know of one person that has become akin to a Great One is what I was going to say, but then I said akin, and that's Rom, who was apparently originally a female scholar of Byrgenwerth that was, according to Mikolash, granted eyes, but really transformed. And, you know, other than, well, aside from just the physical transformation, which certainly happened, you know, Rom is also capable of supernatural abilities, effects, because Rom is responsible for this sort of barrier, this illusion that was placed over Yarnum. And because as soon as Rom dies, you know, the blood red moon immediately makes an appearance, as if it was there all along and just something was hiding it. So the question that I have, you know, here's the real problem. I'm not an expert of the Cthulhu mythos. It would be nice to be one, but I'm not. I don't have encyclopedic knowledge of all the Cthulhu mythos stories and plots and character. Like, I don't. I'm pretty good. I know my fair share. but there's a lot to it, and so that's my concern anytime I say, well, like, I can't think of a Cthulhu Mythos story, you know, that relates to this. My concern is always like, well, what if I'm just not aware of it, or I can't remember it, or whatever. That's my concern. So I'm trying to think of any sort of story in the Cthulhu Mythos that involves experimenting on people to try to make them in any way more alien than they were before. I mean, I know there's the Reanimator, but that's really like a completely different concept. I don't know. That's the problem. Like, I've put like this time limit, this close time frame on this video, and I worry that it probably should deserve more time of research and thinking and all that, but then part of me does not want to spend that much time on this because I have no idea how even popular this will be. No HUD is definitely more immersive than with HUD by far. It's a little freaky sometimes, and the funniest bit so far was at Bergenworth. I was going around getting footage of Bergenworth and of the fly monsters, and so I was sort of sneaking behind one, and I was getting really good footage of it from behind as it was like walking along. It didn't notice me or anything. And so I was like, oh, this is great, this is great. I'm just tracking this fly thing. This will be great for the video when I talk about him. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, this other one pops up right behind me and freaks the ever-loving shit out of me. I had no idea he was there. And he just jumps right onto my back. So that'll go in the video. That was pretty perfect. Yeah, just, oh man. Just trying to think about experimentation on humans. I'm blanking a little bit. I don't think he went into that at all. I mean, you have... really, the only thing that he really went into with altered humans is deep ones. Which are sort of... But that... I mean, it's sort of a human... Actually, I mean, it's deep ones, and then they have sex with humans, and you just get more deep ones. I mean, they're humans at first, and then they just become deep ones. But it wasn't done in any effort to communicate with a cosmic force or anything like that. It was just deep ones being deep ones. So I don't know if I have anything. But yeah, you know, in this game, the healing church is... It's very fascinating they call themselves a church. Religion plays really almost no part here, other than terminology. You know, you really don't ever hear anybody talking about God or any sort of belief or the afterlife. I don't think there's really none of that. And so they present themselves as really like this altruistic organization. It's just like, yes, bring you're tired, you're sick, you know, all this. We will cure you with this blood, this magical purifying blood. We will cure you with it. It cures any disease. And so they present themselves in this real altruistic way. But all they really care about is sort of ascending themselves and communicating with the Great One so that they can reach that level of greatness themselves. And they keep, you know, a Great One trapped underneath their church, and they do blood experiments and stuff on all these on children and all sorts of stuff. In the hopes of achieving greatness. And that's why the choir, the highest ranking members, are former scholars of Bergenworth. You know, they're not like priests or anything like that. The highest ranking members, they're scientists, they're scholars that are obsessed with this concept of communion. And so they just use this convenient, the convenient healing properties of this blood, this Great One blood, on an unsuspecting public to carry out their research. Because the public doesn't know that the blood is responsible for beast scourges and plagues and, you know, all these problems that are cropping up, and they don't know that the church is really just doing these experiments and all that crap. It's a nice little scam they got going on, but things aren't working out too well for them because for some reason a lot of them also like using the blood. And so you get stuff like Vicar Amelia that just gets fucked up, and Lawrence got fucked up. So yeah, boss fights. The good part of no HUD is you can't see the boss health, and you really don't need to see boss health. You don't see boss health in Monster Hunter, and so you never go into like super clutch mode where you're like going all out on offense. Jesus. And you're just like, you sort of abandon your defense because, oh, if I just get a few hits in, he's dead and he's done. It's over. You never feel that because you have no idea how much health. I had no idea he had that little health. So you treat the entire boss fight as if it's like, you know, the middle of the fight. The bad side is, though, I can't see my health. And so I have no idea how much damage they're doing. So I have to heal after every fight. And really, another big problem is chip damage, where it's just like you know it's like really little damage. So you kind of just ignore it, but you're not sure exactly how little it is, and it adds up, and you have to really be on top of every little hit you take, and it can be annoying. So these things are... These things are formerly people. They're former people, right? That have been experimented on. Kin. I mean, I have the wiki, but I'd like a source on this. You know, I use wikis every single day of my life. Okay, I'm on all sorts of wikis every day for different things, and the biggest pain in the ass is when they don't list the source. And they just say something, and you know, a lot of people are just like, "Oh, that's interesting." And it's like, no, I need the fucking source, man. Otherwise, I look like a real dunce. But well, here it says they are humans who have been blessed by great ones and ascended, evolved into something beyond humanity. All kins bleed a yellowish and pale fluid. That's how you know you're fighting a kin. And there's like a specific... Actually, does it show somewhere? Is it on weapons? Yeah, in the middle, the little yellow symbol, that's kin. That's your damage versus kin, and then next to that is damage versus beast. I'm pretty sure. So yeah. So the kin in the game are the brain suckers, who are sort of the mind flayer looking enemies. The children of Ram, so the little spiders with Ram, those are all apparently kin. The Garden of Eyes, which are the Migo fly-looking things, those are all kin. And you can tell that they were formerly human. Like, that's a very clear indicator. Like, yes, they're wearing, like, students' clothes. They have a mostly human body. So you can tell there. Winter Lantern, same kind of thing. You can tell they have the doll's attire on. Their heads are formed for the remains of messengers. Is that in the book? I actually have the guide. I have the huge hardcover guide, and I haven't brought it up. It's somewhere in the basement. The celestial children are kin. Wait, what? If you bring... Okay, so those blue alien dudes are known as celestial minions. And apparently if you bring the body of a celestial minion to a celestial child, the little slug things, they will eat it. What? Yeah, so it's much further revealed in the DLC, which... I mean, it's probably a good thing I'm going to play through it again, because I really don't remember much. Yeah, the celestial minions are definitely human that have been experimented on. Orphanage key. Hold on. Oh, orphanage key. So, the orphanage key... I have that. Oh, I can read it in-game. Hold on, I can show you. Here. Birthplace of the choir. The orphanage, shadowed by the Grand Cathedral, was a place of scholarship and experimentation, where young orphans became potent, unseen thinkers for the Healing Church. The choir that would later split the Healing Church was a creation of the orphanage. Potent, unseen thinkers. Yeah. So, yeah. that's what I was referring to. They experimented on orphans. They just were like, hey, we got these orphans. No one cares about them. No one gives a shit. So just start fucking them up. Just do all sorts of shit. No one cares. That's the healing church. This is the money shot. It's the money shot right here. Got that big sword in my way. Hold on. Great Cthulhu. I don't know how long I can use footage for like a minute where I'm just talking over it, so this is not a speed run. The camera only goes up so far. Damn you. Damn you, Miyazaki. So, yeah. So, hold on. Are those little things following me? Okay, good. So, Abritas. So Abritas, like, they count her as a kin, but she's not a kin. I mean, she is for the purpose of damage effects and things like that, but she's different than the kin because she is a great one. So aside... Yeah, but... Okay, hold on. So the only... Okay, so you fight... Really? The Brain of Mensis? Okay, so you fight... Yeah, you fight a few great ones. You have Abritas here, you have Amygdala, or Amygdala, I think as they pronounce it. You have the Brain of Mensis, which you don't fight, but you encounter. You have the Orphan of Kaz, and you have Murgo's Wet Nurse. Murgo's Wet Nurse is a great one? That's like the assumption. But that would imply that there are... there are like levels of great ones. It's not like all great ones are equal. It's like, no, you're a shit great one. You're gonna watch over my kid. Alright? You just sit there, and if anybody comes to bother my kid, you fuck them up. Alright? That's your job. Like, right? Somebody had to command Murgo's Wet Nurse to do that. Because otherwise it would be like Murgo's mother or father, whatever. It specifically says Wet Nurse, which is like a position. Anyways, we're gonna kill Abritas, so... Hard to tell when that fight actually started. Hey now, player. Hey now. Oh my god. See, I have no idea how much that did. I assume a lot, but... Just heal after every hit. Jesus. Okay, can we just... cooperate? Alright, see, this strategy isn't working for me. Damn it. Stupid fish monster thing. I need to heal. Probably twice. Land on me. Oh, get your hand in there. Even with a big claw hand, like, you wouldn't want to get that in there. That's disgusting. Let's heal it just for good measure. Well, you know, mostly vestigial wings, I guess. Shit. So yeah, the interesting thing about this game compared to the Cthulhu Mythos is that a lot of the great ones or the kin or whatever, a lot of them are... Okay, not a lot of them. Let me correct that. Some of them are just neutral to you until you attack them. Great. Well, really, like, 3 of them. You have Ram, of course, who doesn't attack you until you attack it. You have a Britas, as you just saw, didn't attack until I attacked it. And you have the Moon Presence, who does not fight you immediately. The only reason it fights you is because it discovers you are trying to become a great one yourself. But if you consumed 3 umbilical cords, which apparently no one before you has ever done. Which I can understand. You know, if I saw some weird alien umbilical cords, I wouldn't just munch into 3 of them. And you know, you find out that the school members of the School of Mensis used 1 of the umbilical cords in order to have an audience with Murgo, and they fucking lost their minds by doing it. So here you are sitting around munching on 3 of these umbilical cords. I don't know how you stay steady, but it only grants 3 insight, so I don't know. And, you know, I guess, you know, a lot of people's assumptions about the Cthulhu Mythos is that you have these, you know, great, just horrific, powerful, great old ones and outer gods that just, you know, want to conquer the world and destroy all of us and blah, blah, blah. When really the point of the Cthulhu Mythos is how indifferent they are to us. for the most part, we are, as I've discussed, we are just ants. We are less than ants. Oh yeah, I forgot I have to heal sometimes. And so I guess that's sort of the concept here. When you encounter Arboretas, you're just walking around and it's completely indifferent to you. Probably because it's been around people for quite a while now. They have an elevator going down to it. But, for our purposes, it's indifferent to your presence. Just as I would be indifferent to a bug, just walking along the road. But if a mosquito, lands on me and tries to suck some of my blood, I'm probably gonna swat at it. So that's sort of the same concept. It's just, the problem with the Cthulhu mythos is you can't have stories that just go in depth about how indifferent we are to these great ones, the great old ones, because that doesn't make for a very interesting story. They have to be involved somewhat. They have to be there. They have to be a presence, which leads to the question of that people have commented on some of the videos is why are they so interested in us and in Earth, and it's like they're not. They're just as interested in any other thing in the galaxy and the cosmos. It's just we think, we're the center of attention. This isn't a winning strat. I don't know what I'm doing. There you go. Bloody it up. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I don't even know what that ability does. What does it do? It creates like a star field. Okay, I was pressing the heal button. Like, of course, I've really been just like coasting through this game. Honestly, like I've been doing really well. But as soon as I turn on, commentary and start just talking about stuff, everything falls apart. The human brain was not meant to do this. You don't have, you don't have basketball players doing running commentary as they're shooting hoops and shit. You don't have, I'm trying to think of a single sportsman. I need a sportsman. Well, Michael, yeah, you don't have Michael Jordan. I don't think he even does stuff anymore, but whatever. You don't have Michael Jordan running down the court and he's describing all of his activities and how he's feeling, and he's discussing the philosophy of basketball or something as he's going for the three-pointer or something. It's not done. You focus. But I don't focus. I just fuck around all day. Yeah. So let's get her done. I don't know what that ability does. I just swing my sword at you. I'm gonna look up that ability after this. Oh, it's definitely doing something to me. Oh. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's heal for good measure. Let's double heal for good measure. I'm out of blood. Okay, I'm out of blood vials. Perfect. Oh, that's bad. That's not perfect. The opposite of perfect. All right. Well, now I'm out of blood echoes or blood vials. I'm out of blood echoes. I'm out of everything. I've expended it all. Let me see what the hell this ability is. I want to know. See, now this page puts Abritas in the same category as Rom and the Celestial Emissary, calling them kin Great Ones and not true Great Ones. But how in the fuck is Abritas not a true Great One? I mean, she's the daughter of the cosmos. Which implies that she's a child. So it says here, she's possibly the first celestial child. Which would imply that she's half of a Great One, I guess. Alright, I suppose I can accept that. I suppose I can accept that. But it says she's one of the Great Ones who was left behind in the old labyrinth, eventually discovered by the Healing Church. Uh-huh. So if she was left behind... Oh, I guess you can be a child. You can be a left-behind child. That's what they say, no child left behind or whatever. But Abritas was left behind. Okay. Alright. I'll accept that. You know, we don't know who Abritas' father was. And I suppose that's why, you know, all the other little slug children kind of look like Abritas. So that's just what, yeah, that's just what a celestial, that's just what a Great One child looks like. But a Great One adult can look like all sorts of stuff. So that means it's specifically like a single Great One that, you know, probably looks something like Abritas out there somewhere is doing all this impregnating. Which is possibly Odin. Anyways, I was looking up her abilities. Oh, those little particles deal damage constantly. Huh. Okay. Alright, well, yeah, I doubt I can get many blood vials off of that, so I'm gonna have to farm. And I've got plenty more recording to do on my own without commentary, where I can just focus on killing shit. So, yeah, I'll probably have one more video of this. Probably have one part of the DLC at least. That'll take me a while. So, I would expect another one of these in a day or two. Luckily, not that I'm in the mood for Bloodborne per se. I don't think I'd be playing it otherwise. But it's been a while since I've gone through the whole thing. And so I'm not like hating I'm not like this isn't excruciating or anything, but I am playing it more like, God, I've been playing it just hours today, and without the HUD, and it's just stressful. It's just, I mean, it's for my job, I guess, playing video games, but I would have preferred, like, why couldn't I have done like Cthulhu Mythos in Chrono Trigger or something? Why couldn't I have done something like that instead? Anyways. My name is Mangg. Game watching has been Bloodborne. And, I'll see you fine folks in the next part.